You keep forgiving people who are toxic in your life, like I have done. I think I discovered why I have done that in the past. I used to tell myself in relationships, look, everybody makes mistakes, everybody has flaws. You have flaws, so you need to forgive their flaws. But now I recognize that there's a difference between having flaws and being abusive. Abuse is anytime you try to control or manipulate someone into doing and acting like how you want them to. I didn't know that was abuse. Based on most of my past relationships, that was normal behavior. Isn't that fucked up? Did you know that you can have too much empathy and be too forgiving of people? And it's because of a trauma response in you. Most likely you grew up in an environment where you really wanted to keep the peace. So you became hypersensitive to everybody else's emotions and what they're feeling and going through so that you can change the situation and circumstances to keep peace in the situation so that they didn't become chaotic. And honestly, that's abuse too, because you're trying to control the situation and them and manipulate them. What the fuck? We like to call ourselves empaths and forgiving and kind, but ultimately we're just people pleasers. We're uncomfortable with other people being uncomfortable with us. We're uncomfortable with other people's emotional outbursts. We're uncomfortable with chaos, and we want to control the situation better. Honestly, I think I would put up with abuse because I was abusing them as well. I was trying to control them just as much as they were trying to control me. Begging someone to treat you right is trying to control them. A healthy person would simply state their boundaries, state what their desires are, and if the person couldn't respect their boundaries and treat them with respect, then a healthy person would just walk away, therefore enforcing their boundaries and say, I'm sorry, this is not going to work for me, and leave the relationship, period. Can you imagine doing that? I finally had to do it, and it was so hard for me because I didn't want to be an asshole. And I think it was also some pride there too. Like if I could forgive them, then I felt better about myself, like I was morally superior than them. Subconsciously, I thought that me putting up with their bad behavior made me a good person. And I thought enforcing my boundaries and walking away made me insensitive, unforgiving, unkind. And that's exactly what abusers want you to think. Choosing to forgive their consistent bad behavior over you being treated with respect, it's self-hatred. It's self-sabotage. Because if you loved yourself, you would not ever let someone treat you poorly and abuse you. Certainly, your partner can make mistakes and have flaws, but when they're trying to control you and manipulate you and lie to you, that's abuse. And if you don't walk away, it's self-hatred. Honestly, if we're going to have successful relationships, we have to do better at identifying when someone is abusing us, when they're trying to control us and manipulate us, and when we're trying to control and manipulate and change them as well.